The story begins in 1990 with a video recording being shot by a man named Enwarn. He stands inside an empty building with yellowish walls, breathing hard like a man gripped by fear. Looking around the place, he spots a trail of wires. He follows them and reaches a radio frequency setup. Into the radio he says, "I am separated from others and I don't know where I am. I have never been this far all alone. There is something else in here." No response comes back. Then a sound comes from a nearby door. The moment Darren steps toward it, a bird drops to the ground in front of him. It looks dead, but it gets back up and flies away. Warren moves forward through that same door. The corridor here is pitch dark. On a poster ahead, the words, "No credit," are written in a strange, reversed way. The bird's feathers and a few leaves lie scattered across the floor. Then a strange entity appears behind him, and the man runs. He rushes into a room where landscapes are painted across the walls. And here, the entity attacks him. A group of scientists sit watching this recording. The scene shifts to a little girl pressing her handprint into a wet concrete floor beside her mother. But today, that house is being demolished. The same little girl, now grown into Dr. Mary, watches it come down. Her eyes land on those handprints. The scene shifts to a furniture shop owner named Clark. Someone has scrawled "Rip Off" across his store door. Every item in his store is marked down for sale. His bills are past due. And he is in therapy with that same Dr. Mary. Mary asks him to try a role-play exercise. They go back to the night Clark's wife Barbara left him, the night she threw him out of the house. Clark will play himself, and Mary will play Barbara. Clark explains that he came home late that night. A glass slipped and shattered in the kitchen. From there, things escalated. Clark was drunk and angry. Mary slips into Barbara's role, and the two begin to argue all over again. Barbara was studying in law school. Clark tells her he's paying her school fees, covering every expense in the house, and on top of it all, she wants kids. Mary calls the exercise a good start, a way for all of Clark's feelings to finally surface. Then we see an advertisement Clark made, playing a pirate captain, Captain Clark, promoting his furniture store. But while shooting the video, he falls. The video is being recorded by Bobby, the boyfriend of the store's assistant manager, Kat. An electrician arrives. The store's cutouts and ceiling lights keep flickering over and over. Clark leads him to the circuit box. There, the electrician notices a set of red switches. Clark tells him they were never there before. They test them, but the switches change nothing. The electrician says they aren't even part of the main circuit. That night, Mary watches her own therapy ad. On the table beside her sits that concrete handprint, the one she took before her house was torn down. Clark sleeps in his store and watches TV. Then the TV shuts off. When he tries it again, the lamps come on instead. So there is power, but the TV won't come back on. Then the ceiling lights switch on by themselves. They start flickering. After that, they go dark on their own. Clark, thinking of his wife, ends up outside his old house, staring at it from the street. Meanwhile, Mary is at a house party. She sees a mother and daughter together. Something about them stirs a memory of her own mom. She goes and takes a pill. One night, Clark is drinking and watching TV again. For a single moment, that yellow-walled building flashes across his screen. Then the TV shuts off. Clark notices the light in his basement flickering. Furious, he goes to the circuit box and flips every switch off. The lights stay on. The moment he cuts the red switch, everything goes dark. But nothing comes back on. As he leaves, Clark spots a vertical line of light on a wall. He steps closer and hears sounds coming from the other side. He presses his ear against the wall to listen, but he passes straight through it and finds himself inside that same yellow-walled building. Clark realizes the wall works like a portal, a way to move back and forth. We'll call this yellowish building the Backrooms. Furniture is piled up here in heaps. Two chairs are fused together in a strange, unnatural way. Clark moves deeper inside. Right in the middle of the corridor stands a signboard with the word, "Stop," written backwards. Further ahead, a dead bird lies on the floor. Clark hears sounds coming from up ahead. He follows them, and there's a man standing there. But when he gets close, he realizes it's a cardboard cutout of a man. The sound is coming from a speaker mounted on it, its wire running out through a door. A camera is set up here too. Clark tries to pull the speaker wire and open the door, but it won't budge. Then he finds a hidden compartment. Inside lies a bag with the ID of that man, Warren, who worked for a company called a sink. Clark starts crawling forward through the hidden compartment and reaches a room. A pair of shoes and a pair of sandals are half sunk into the ground. Here sits a purple velvet chair that looks royal. The side wall looks like a fourth dimension. In the very center of the room is a square compartment holding a few wooden chairs. Then sounds begin coming from behind him. Clark senses there's someone here besides him. Afraid, he moves toward that fourth-dimensional looking wall, where a small door carries 3 doorknobs. Clark passes through the door and reaches the stop sign. He goes back to the portal wall, touches it, and pins down the exact location of the portal before returning to his shop. But he rushes back in, grabs a stool, and carries it out into his shop. Clark is stunned by all of it. And at this very moment, a scientist is watching the video of him entering the backroom. The next day, Clark tells Mary about the backrooms. I found a place in my store. There is a copy of my store behind a wall and it keeps going. But his words don't make sense to Mary. Mary asks, is there any people there? Clark tells her he didn't see anyone, but he heard footsteps. Clark has even brought a map he drew of the place. Mary asks why no one else has ever found it. She writes it all off as a hallucination brought on by Clark not drinking since Friday. Clark says he'll come back with proof. Something in Mary shifts at his words. She looks over at her handprint. Then Clark goes to his assistant manager Kat and her boyfriend Bobby. I will pay you overtime for some research. He tells Bobby to bring his camera. Everyone reaches the store. Clark packs some emergency supplies into a bag. He has kept the portal door marked. But Kat and Bobby can't make sense of what he's saying. The moment Clark steps inside, they freeze. Bobby reaches his hand in to test it. Then both of them follow Clark inside. Kat is terrified. Bobby records everything as he trails behind Clark. Clark ties Bobby to a rope and the rope to a bed. Bobby will take the camera and head down a steep slope to check what lies ahead. As he reaches the bottom, Bobby sees mounds of clothes giving off a foul stench. Up along the side walls and the ceiling, doors are built into the surfaces. A little further on, Bobby sees a light flickering. Hearing a sound from that direction, he runs back up. He says, there is someone out there. Then something starts pulling his rope from below. Kat and Clark try to grab him, but Bobby gets dragged down. The bed tied to the rope drags too, and Kat and Clark are pulled off their feet along with it. Something has hauled Bobby away into the distance. Kat goes off into a side room to look for him. Clark has Bobby's camera. He moves forward with it and slips in between white walls. But beyond this, it's still the yellow backrooms. Clark starts hearing someone approaching. The furniture in the room is arranged in strange ways. Further ahead, Bobby reaches a room with a decorated Christmas tree in the center and human dead bodies seemingly stuffed beneath the floor. Clark leans in to look at the tree closer. Just then, something moves toward him and Clark runs. He runs wherever he can find a path. Then he hears Kat's voice from a room with a swimming pool, coming from the other side of a wall. Clark can't see Kat, but Kat can see him because there's glass on her side and a wall on his. Then something grabs Clark's camera. Kat says, behind you. The scene shifts to a flashback. We see young Mary in her old house, where the windows are covered with paper. The moment Mary tries to open a window, her mom stops her. She tells her, I never ever said that you could go outside. It's no good. They are all over the place. Then a knock comes at their door. They've locked it with furniture pushed against it. But it breaks and Mary wakes up. Mary picks up that handprint lying beside the bed. Then she hears a voicemail from Clark saying, I opened the window of my heart and I won't be coming back. Hearing it, a worried Mary goes to Clark's store. The scene shifts to that same scientist who was monitoring Clark. On his TV, he sees Clark's pirate ad. He recognizes Clark and is stunned. Mary finds the door to Clark's store open and goes inside. But no one is there. Reaching the basement, Mary sees the maps Clark drew. She moves toward that marked door. Right in front of her, a fly slips inside. When Mary puts her hand in, it goes right through. She's shocked. Mary gathers her courage and crosses through the wall. She keeps walking, searching for Clark. Mary reaches a room filled with furniture. A little further on, she starts hearing the sound of a TV. Following it, she sees a drawing of a monster with different things written around it, like, tables don't bleed blood. And this monster is tossing a human into the air. Then Mary feels something behind her. She hears Clark's voice say, "You are being too loud." Clark steps in front of her. Mary asks, "Where are we?" Then they hear the footsteps of someone approaching. Clark tells Mary to stay calm. He says, "It's only me. He knows me." Then the flickering light in front of them goes out, and Clark chokes Mary. Mary passes out. The scene shifts again into one of Mary's flashbacks. Her mom is admitted to a hospital, and Mary is left home alone. Beneath her house is a room with a little less stuff. Then the next room with even less. Then the next room, more changed and yellow. Slowly, a yellow room appears with a structure like an open gate. Then Mary comes to. She's sitting at a dinner table. Across from her, beside Clark, sits a strange man with multiple noses and eyes. A similar woman stands off to one side of the room. Mary asks, "What is this?" Clark tells her, "It's a mess but also beautiful in a way." Mary asks, "Who are these people?" Clark says, "This place builds them. Somewhere in the world there must be a man in a striped shirt, and this place has kept a memory of him, just slightly wrong. This place can't hold on to them properly for long. All these places and rooms are built from their memories too." Clark shows her that these people can't feel anything. He drives a knife into the neck of the man sitting in the chair, and the man doesn't react at all. Clark says, "They are like furniture. And the best part, you can eat them. What comes out of them isn't blood but a fluffy kind of material." But here, inside the fridge, Clark has kept Kat's head. Seeing it, Mary is terrified. She tells Clark to untie her. Clark says, "If I untie you, you'll just run like crazy people do." Mary says, "Tell me what you want. I'll do it." So Clark asks her to do that exercise again, the one where she plays his wife. But first, he tells the woman standing to the side to turn off the light. She doesn't obey his command. So Clark gets up and turns off the light himself. Then he cuts the hair, scalp and all, off this woman and places it on top of Mary's head. Clark puts Mary in Barbara's place and apologizes for coming home late that night and breaking the glass. But then he starts asserting his authority, how he can drink as much as he wants because this is his house and he pays for everything. So Mary takes off the hair and says his wife didn't leave him for coming home late or for drinking. She left him because he always whines. He blames everyone else for everything. "You are just wired this way." And she can't help him either. Clark starts to feel that where he is now is the right place for him. He's liking it here. Mary says, "Then stay. But let me go." Clark starts untying Mary. But just then, that woman runs off, because someone else is coming from the other direction. It's a large creature that looks like a pirate. Clark tells it, "This is Mary, our therapist. You don't have to worry." But this pirate creature grabs Clark and starts eating him. This pirate creature looks just like Clark. It's the Backrooms' own version of Clark. Mary runs. Now she reaches a room with many houses. The pirate is coming behind her. She slips inside a house. Mary runs wherever she can find a path. But as she runs, her foot twists. She crawls forward. She runs with a limp, but the pirate keeps coming after her. Mary reaches a place where she can see many backrooms. A staircase leads up from here. Mary climbs the stairs. The pirate was about to break through the door and reach her, but Mary made it up the stairs. This was a copy of Clark's furniture store. Everything here is like the original store, but slightly off. Mary tries to open the exit door, but there's a wall beyond it, and the pirate monster has come up behind her. To save herself, Mary picks up a piece of furniture. She strikes the monster's leg and breaks it. But Mary herself falls onto that human cutout with the speaker, which triggers some gases to release here. Mary starts to pass out, but the pirate monster comes at her once more. Mary tries to hold it off with her hands. She pulls the concrete handprint from her pocket and strikes the monster with it again and again. Mary escapes the monster by slipping into a narrow space, because the monster can't fit in here. She moves forward, where people in hazmat suits spray gas on her. Seeing her, they start to panic. They carry her to a lab-like place, where many more scientists are gathered. Moving ahead, Mary sees that these people were running experiments on the pirate monster too. A scientist named Phil comes and asks Mary, "How did you get in here?" Mary tells him, "I walked through a wall." The doctor confirms the store's location with her and asks, "Were you looking for this man?" Mary asks, "Where am I?" Phil explains that their company made MRI machines, but not anymore, because they found the backrooms. Phil has been in there. Every day he goes in and tries to find out a little more about it. But no matter how much they try to learn, they can't. And now they want Mary to tell them what she saw inside. But Mary asks what will happen to her then. Will you let me go after that? Phil says that decision is not up to him. He just wants to have a normal conversation with Mary and learn everything. Then we get to see Mary's broken house, which had also formed inside the backroom with her memory. But this too, like Clark's store, is a little imperfect. These backrooms were created from human memories, but they aren't perfect. It's like AI creating absurd things. And here, an imperfect version of Mary had formed too. And with that, this movie ends. Let us know in the comments how you found this explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.